today's video, we're taking a look at the Eachine EV300Ds. Now, I've been using them for the past week and also have been testing them against the RapidFire and also with the RapidFire attached to the goggle here. Now, we're going to cover slightly some of the specs here, then we're going to jump straight into the testing because I think that's where it really counts the most here. However, first of all, let's take a quick look at the device itself, or the goggles themselves. Now, there's a couple things that I could immediately tell you off the bat. For example, the quality is actually pretty superb for the price you're paying, and the amount of adjustments and just the feel of these knobs is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you can fine tune wherever you want to go. It's not slipping anywhere, and it's just really nice. So you can kind of see the IPD adjustments, and you could sort of see the lens as I'm twisting it go back and forth, which is crazy. I've never had a clear image like that before. Now, if we go down to the screens themselves, the screens are actually really great. The image quality was better than the HDOs most of the time. Now, I think the RapidFire has a lot to do with the image quality, because I've noticed that quite a lot. Even when I put it here, the image quality seemed to dip a little, but this one held the image quality much better than the RapidFires here. Now, in terms of field of view, between this and the HDO isn't going to affect your flying at all whatsoever, especially in my tight proximity flying. I barely noticed the difference. I mean, just off the side slightly, but overall, the difference between the HDO and the EV300Ds is pretty minute. I mean, it wasn't really that difficult to keep flying like the way I usually fly, which does need a pretty decent goggle in order to fly. Now, in terms of latency, at times I do feel slight latency, but I think it's because of the overhead of the on-screen display. Now, the on-screen display inside this, I don't know if I'll be able to show you. If I do, I'll post a picture up here. But on the top of the screen, you get the RSSI for each antenna. However, when you bring in another module, depending if it can do that or not, you might see it and you might not see it. For example, I didn't get it when I plugged in the RapidFire here. So those RSSI meters were basically useless. Now, when I put them head to head in my Bando, I use the same antennas for both. I actually use double the antennas for here and single antennas for here. The RapidFire still won. Okay, the Fatshark and the RapidFire won, but by a small margin. And you'll get to see that right now. Now, what I also found out is once you stick in the RapidFire or any other module, depending if they do have the SPI enabled, you can actually switch through the menu with these, which is really nice. You do have a bunch of modes. If we take a look on the bottom here, we have our HDMI. This is a mini HDMI, if you didn't know. We also have our AV input output, the IPD and the diopter adjustment here, which are really great. We also do have a headphone jack. We also have a micro USB, which can actually be used to power this device. However, the power bank you're going to be using should be able to output at least 2 amps. I mean, actually, at least 2.1 amps, because this is taking basically a static 2 amps the whole time. So keep that in mind. Obviously, when we remove one of the modules here, it takes slightly less, but it takes around 2 amps. So make sure you get a pretty beefy or just a pretty decent power bank in order to do that. And it also does come with a DC-2S power jack, and it comes just like the Fatshark. Now, for battery, this is where it gets interesting. They provide you with this, but this works, it has 2 functions really. One is to provide power for your goggles here, and it doesn't come with batteries inside. You're gonna have to put 2 18650 batteries, as you can tell here. Now, what's really great about this that even Fatshark doesn't do here is they give you a USB charging circuit inside, so you can plug your USB and actually charge the 2 18650s without the need to get an external charger. Now, how well does this work? I can't answer that, but it should work decent enough. But saying that, you could also just run this off a power bank most of the time, which is just pretty insane here. Now, if you wanted to record on this, it beats its previous EV200s, I think they were called. That one you had to hold the DVR button for like 10 seconds. Here, no, you just hold it for I think around 3. Just keep holding it, and then the DVR logo will appear on the OSD, and it'll also make a sound. And let me actually show you that real quick. So now you're looking through the screen here, and as you can tell, it gives you the band channel. Hopefully you guys can see that clearly. And you can see the 4 RSSI feeds for each antenna. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and start recording, it might be a little bit difficult to show you. All right, and it also gives you your battery right there. It's a little bit difficult to see because the battery's dead. Now I'm holding the DVR button. I don't let go until you see it right there. And once you want to start recording, you press it again, and that circle will turn green. Now, I don't have an SD card inside. That's why it's giving me an X on the SD card. But right next to it also does have the battery. So right now what you're hearing is it's telling me that the battery is about to die, basically. So this is a really nice warning here, that just an audible warning in case you weren't looking at the on-screen display. Now, the overall fitment was really great on this, and by far this is Eachine's best goggle yet, and it is actually competing with the Skyzone O2X in my opinion. opinion. The screen quality is absolutely superb. The field of view is perfect. You can see everything you need to see in order to hit gaps, so I really did enjoy this. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the testing real quick. Alright, so right now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the results. Now, this is by far the only test where I was able to show who actually won. In every other thing, they were basically performing identical. However, there are slight differences in the way they break up, especially with the EV300Ds, which we'll cover. But first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, on the left side here, we're looking at the Fatshark with the RapidFire, which is some of the most expensive module. And on the right side, we're looking at the EV300Ds with just the dual antennas built in. They're using the same exact antennas, however it's double the same antennas on the EV300Ds, and this is the best way I could actually show you the performance right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we're gonna go in here now. If you it's really difficult to see this now here on the recording, but the EV300Ds, let me actually remove myself here. The EV300Ds tend to break up and fill up the static with blackness sometimes, and it can make things a bit more difficult, especially when I put the RapidFire on the EV300Ds. That was getting it was getting pretty bad at times. So the stock antennas or the stock receivers are really great. So here we go. Now we're pushing it, and we see they're both still doing really great. It's only apparent when I get to that last room to get out of that building is where I lose complete signal on the EV300Ds. Now you can see the RapidFire still has signal, and I'm still able to make up where I am, and I'm really pushing myself to make it out of there. And then once I'm out, I got the signal immediately back, which is something really great here. Now, the other goggle, I had my friend wearing it, and he was just in one position, which was the EV300Ds, and I personally was wearing the Fatshark module. And you know, this kind of shows some data behind these goggles. Hopefully it helps you decide which one's good. But what I can immediately tell you is that this is the only test where I was able to show which one was better. Everything else, the EV300Ds was actually keeping up with, except when you put a Fatshark, when you put the RapidFire module on the EVs, on the Eachines, the breakup is worse. And you know, the reason why the Fatshark and the RapidFire are just really high up there and they're really good is because of the way they break up. They still allow the image to go through, but the EVs fill up the static with black lines, and it could kind of it does really affect it, especially when you're pushing the limits on it. But as you can tell with the Fatshark, I'm still able to kind of make up what's really going on with that breakup. It's really picking that lock back up. Same settings, same everything when I put the RapidFire in. But overall, in my opinion, the RapidFire and the Fatshark do win in terms of sensitivity or range, slightly more than the EV300Ds in my current test. But the EV300Ds is a beast of a competitor with everything that's stock in it. And again, it's a really good goggle. The screens are good, and just about everything is really nice. It just screams quality, and plus the adjustments you have on there are really great. It's the most adjustments we've seen on a goggle, and it will just about get almost everyone's face, hopefully. And well, that's it, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope you guys are able to make a decision because of this. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Also, all the links are down below if you could check those out. It's a greatly support channel, and come support me on Patreon. I do a ton of giveaways there, and you get access to my secret shop where you get things for like super cheap, and you get access to my open hardware schematics, such as my open hardware flight controller. And well, that's it, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.